let's get to this. This one will be at least medium length. We'll see how long it actually goes. And here we go. All right. Welcome to Granblue Radio. This is number 345. This week we had the big bomb drop in terms of just like the
everything.
the maintenance happened. So we're going straight to what we were looking at last time, which is the Revans weapons updates. And I said that we're going to focus on the ones that were in the elements that needed the most help for getting into like the hardest raids. So fire specifically, dark in a lot of ways, and those are pretty much where we're going to start. And then we'll go from there, and then we'll just sort of cycle around. And so let's just talk about the new stuff. So fire, bow, and what we've got here is the mortality bow. And we have a new skill series, enforcement, and it is a boost to attack and defense that is not modifiable. It's on the star.
Like 20% attack and like 15% defense.
It's 20% EX as far as I understand it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so then it also gives you skill, like all of these have the enforcement skill, and then skill like two of 3 caps. So it's either skill, charge attack, or normal attack. Skill, if it has skill, it's 10%. If it has normal attack, it's 5%. And the thing is, you look at this one, and number one, it does force you, if you're fire, into playing double Agni or double Colossus to get this skill in the first place.
Yeah.
They were trying to lean back toward that a little bit.
The problem I have with it is that the weapon itself doesn't really do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like as a standalone weapon, like in double Agni, like it's not being boosted by anything. It like all these weapons, these second weapons just exist, and they get a benefit if you are doing double Agni, double whatever.
Right. And so the thing is that it also, like, this goes hand in hand with the secondary update of Awakening 20. I only have one Awakening 20 because this is expensive as balls. Because let's just take a look at what it costs. It costs a total of 700 Revans materials taken from all 6 of them to get to Mark II in the first place.
Oh yeah, like there's this new thing in the shop where you can update your weapon so it can go to 20.
Yeah. And then the thing over here, like the top row barely exists to us, right? Like it's a diligence check for your dragons, sure, but the bottom 2 rows are just like, holy cow, right? Like I threw a bunch of these things into the alchemy lab, and it's like, well, turns out that wasn't a smart thing of me, but oh well, I'll live with it.
I mean, we didn't expect this.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, fine, sure. But then when you so I made one of these as a demonstration. Wow, I really have to go all the way to the end for my wait, what? Where'd it go? There it is. The Schrodinger Mark II is the one that I have as an example. So here we go. So Awakening 16 to 20 on attack gives 5% water attack, no, 10%, 20% water attack, and 10% EX attack. So if you have any of these Revans weapons on attack, then it will give you 6. What is it?
It's is it 20? Is it? I thought it was 15.
What is it?
I thought it was 15.
Oh, it is 15. You're right. 2, 5, and 10. So 15% water attack, 10% EX might. So that's one of these things gives you 3 modifiers, right? It gives you 3 different multipliers. It gives you regular might over here,
which is so it adds up to 35% normal, 10% EX, 15% elemental. And so if you add on top of that with doing the double primal or double magna, it's that goes up to another 20 EX, so it's like 30 EX might
Yeah.
for a single weapon.
Hmm. So it
Excuse
does.
me, that I was thinking about the mortality bow.
Yeah.
Ignore that part.
Right. I mean, it's fair. Well, so these are all gonna be the same, right? So it's what. So any one of these things, if you once you actually do get it to 20, if you want it to be an attack weapon, then it has 3 different modifiers on it, which is really good. Like that's amazing. The cost is extravagant, sure. And then here we have when you're on defense, it gives an extra 5% debuff resistance, 5% superior element reduction, and 5% healing cap. So mine right now, it's what it totals up to is 55% HP, 15% defense. Those were already amazing. The debuff resistance, we've talked about this before. You will not notice this. That that doesn't exist. The fire damage reduction is very good, especially in multiples, and the healing cap you will notice.
And unless you're already at cap.
Hmm. And then the last one that we have is special, and the special one is just really funny to me because it's just okay. We gave you CA damage cap and you gave you damage cap. Well, what if you had even more cap but on the other things? And so it's an additional 3% CA damage cap, which
Let me go to the totals. Okay.
yeah, so it's 10% CA damage cap,
Yeah, 10%,
5% skill,
5% skill damage cap,
and
4%
5%.
normal damage cap,
Oh, 4%.
5% damage cap, plus
And
50 HP and 200 attack.
yeah. So the defense and attack ones are the real like feature here. The special ones are for things like the Sete swords where they already give you so much damage that you don't care about the other things. But if you want to make one of these Revans weapons a giant stat stick, it is a giant stat stick. But that
So
said, go ahead.
going back to the new weapons though,
Hmm.
I don't know how to really work with them. Like,
It
so it's
is,
like what 10%, like you said, it was 10% skill or CA damage if it has it. And it's 5% normal attack if it has that,
yeah.
right?
Hmm.
The cap for a normal attack is 20%. And you get 10% from an Opus or Ultima, whatever,
Hmm.
normally. So
Hmm.
like best thing you slot in 2 for that, right?
Hmm.
The head scratcher I have is usually the skill damage one
Hmm.
because you technically get more from the Ushmagul
Right.
because it's 20%
Hmm.
on that, but you're missing out on the extra might and stuff like that.
Hmm. So I do plan on making a mortality bow just because we've talked about like fire has holes that it needs to do things like this is a farmable and competent main hand bow because once you manage to get this thing to awakening 20, the Mark II level, like the CA on this is pretty beefy. Fire attack, crit, and damage cap for your entire fire team. That's
I,
nice.
I I don't think I would ever use this on defense.
Yeah, I would. The thing is that the other
The
reason that
other
you wouldn't,
weapon is way
yeah,
better defense.
yeah. So the thing is that this is designed to be the attack one, right? And so you get like, if you manage to get this thing to maximum attack awakening, then it is like a lot of there's a lot of modifiers and a lot of just little things that it gives you that all multiply. Like it's better than adding up. It all multiplies together.
But the problem is it doesn't get anything from the actual your main summon bonus.
Yeah, and the thing is that it does tell you, hey, you need to have either double Agni or double Colossus. Like, there's no way right now for Fire specifically to do like the popular stuff of things like Lucifer Agni or like Lucifer Colossus or all the other versions of that kind of setup because that'll leave
Like,
you at
Wynn's the
one.
only one who can do that.
Wind is the only one who can do it right now. Fire does have the character who can do that, but it's only 20%, isn't it? Or is it like
It,
10% for Michael?
it's 20, but it doesn't add up.
Yeah, it doesn't
So
add up to enough, so she doesn't do it. You need 3 Kaguya fans to actually do this with a single Zephyrus, and it has to be Zephyrus. I think it doesn't work with Tiamat. I don't, if I remember right.
No, it doesn't work on Tiamat.
Yeah, we're gonna have to have Magna 3 before that works, and that's in 4 months minimum. So, um, and then the other thing that I have is that this doesn't solve a bunch of the problems that Fire had specifically in the Hexa raid, where it doesn't help you multi-attack. There's no awakening for multi-attack in any
Nope.
competent fashion. The skill cap is marginal, but it sometimes can help you get over 2 million for very specific purposes. But I mean, it's mostly there to be a gigantic attack stat stick, and Fire doesn't need attack in its setups right now. So, like, you were the one studying how to do Fire without like just tons of Lords of Flame and stuff like that. Like, what happens right now?
You get to the Lord of Flames,
Oh,
or you run a bunch of Extinction Blades.
hmm
The thing is that with just the tons of Extinction Blades, you still have to find a way to actually do the damage.
right. And so that's theoretically what this is for. But with Extinction, the thing about Extinction Blades was that they didn't care about what your summon was. So you got a lot more of like the HP from, once again, bringing Lucifer, or you got damage from bringing Beelzebub. And so this doesn't work under that circumstance. Like I really do wonder how these will end up working.
Like if they even just put a small attack, a fire attack, or like a interchangeable like Optimist attack or whatever, right?
Right.
I feel like this would be infinitely better
Yeah.
because then you have a reason to actually run the doubles.
Right. And so I'm not entirely sure on like if they plugged the right hole with the mortality bow. We'll move on to water and its new fist. So the new fist, I set this to gun. My bad.
Yeah, you get skill damage cap and CA damage cap.
How did I get to the draw screen? That's weird. All right, so here's Lagrange, and yeah, water basically spends a lot of time. Like as water, your number one priority is getting as close to 100,000 HP as possible. And so for that purpose, water is actually one of the premier ones where they're like, oh yeah, Draconic with 10,000 HP, count me in. Flat 10,000 at the end, awesome. And then with this new Lagrange, they're just like, I don't need this.
No, you don't need that.
Yeah.
I mean, the CA damage cap is cool and all because you lost to be able to use Setes.
we have Schrodinger's. Like,
Well, that I thought that was special cap.
uh, between the special cap and the supplement, like I haven't noticed any loss of Sete, so it's like, uh, and then yeah, we do get multi attack from them, but it's
From
like
Wrath, yeah.
it's supplement and then special cap. You're right, but I mean the normal CA cap, you can get that from a bunch of other sources as well, and yeah, I don't see a spot for the melee weapon, not even as a
It's pretty cool as a main hand.
yeah the tank encounter with the spell cancel on it.
You know who like that? Mirren.
True enough.
I want to be able to have a counter on me so she can triple attack.
Does Water Mirren care about Katana allies or no?
Nope.
Okay, so it's other versions of Mirren that care, or is it just fire?
It's just fire.
Okay. So yeah, I'm just gonna move on from the water one. Earth gets an axe, and the axe kind of looks cool to me. So like the whole thing about the Fang of the Dragon Slayer is that even if you had that thing on defense, it was never going to be a defensive weapon. It was going to kill you.
You know, you
Like
just take you do just take 5% every turn.
yeah,
It's only mitigated if you have a way to mitigate
end
dots
of
per
turn
turn.
damage. Yeah, and there's like an AX skill that does like 1% or something like that.
think so. Yeah.
Yeah. And then so here we have the Claw of the Dragon Slayer, um, and this one does actually, do well as a stat stick for Defense Awakening.
It also has
It
pretty good CA.
has a really good CA. Armor, hell yeah.
Defense,
Yeah.
armor, multi attack. Yeah, sign me up.
Yeah. It's on an axe, which is a little bit weird. Um, because it's like Apsaris, I guess.
I mean, Earth can play axes. It's in a different
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, you can berserk with this thing, but I don't know. There's a
It
bunch of
has
swords that'll do really
it
well.
has normal attack damage cap. Heck, you can put the special on this. Just put
Huh,
special on this.
that's true actually. Special would
You
be
have,
pretty good on this thing.
it was it's add up to you get 10% from striking art.
Hmm.
5% from striking art as well for normal attacks. So that's 9% damage cap. That's almost damage cap on your normal attacks if you have normal attack damage cap on your opus.
Yeah, the thing about saying Berserker is that Berserker doesn't actually CA. It uses its entire meter on Ulfadin, and so you don't CA with that. Like that's what makes it weird because the most popular build of Berserker is the Beast Fang Ulfadin build, and
And also, if
you
you're
you never
at
CA.
this
You have
point,
the falsehood.
but if you're at this point, you're actually just playing grunting because you're a
Yeah.
berserker.
Yeah. And so like that's why it's a little weird having a very strong defensive CA on an axe.
Wait, you know what? You know
What's
what
up?
exists?
Viking?
No, because that has the same problems.
Yeah.
No, you could be one with wielding creatures.
This actually does seem like a really, really good lumberjack main hand.
Yeah.
And it is way more accessible than Andromeda, and Andromeda is not really like a farming weapon, so it's the lesser of the popular Earth weapons. You know, you're right. I'm convinced. This is an
There
amazing,
you go.
amazing lumberjack main hand. So there we found it. We found the spot that this fits
We
in,
got the
and
use case.
yeah, and lumberjack is it's always going to be a good class.
It will always exist to be good,
Yeah,
especially after his last update.
yeah. All right. The next one is the wind axe. I know we've all said it. Everybody's talked about it. But here we have the Spada di Vento. It's even called a Spada. Anyway,
You know the best part of this? It's
what's up?
CA.
Yeah, it gives you Faded Chain.
Gives you 10% beta shade. That's not on your normal CA.
Yeah, this thing's cool, but it's
Can't wait to
basically a
reactivate my CAs.
yeah, it's basically a one of though. Like Wind already had the best Revans weapon, and so they were like, yeah, we don't need to give Wind a Revans weapon that matters. We can give you a one of.
I mean, all of these feel like one-ups at this point.
You're not. Well, let's see. Because we have the Light Dagger. The Light Dagger also is pretty cool. So we have ourselves the Concordia, which gives you uplift, armor, and dispel cancel on its CA. Light. Um, I've always had problems finding and scraping together light daggers. It sucks. When I try to play Light Mana Diver, I look around and go, the what is it? The weather control stick from One Piece, I think, is a light staff, and I'm like, that's what I have. That's what we get.
Well, it's in their Ivory Arc.
I don't have that, but yeah, I
Yeah,
understand.
that's the thing.
Yeah, and so this one I am interested in as a main hand. I will not be able to um like Awakening 20 this for a very long time, so I will only have the uplift effect. But the plus side is, as a Mana Diver main hand, I don't care about its CA. That's the hope, at least. I hope I don't care about it.
CA is pretty good. Uplift, armor, dispel cancel.
Yeah. This is the more expensive version though. So like I said, this is gonna be multiple months out for me at minimum. And then the last one we have to look at.
I do
Whoop, go ahead.
appreciate though that they
Hmm.
didn't put skill damage cap on this thing.
That's fair.
because tempering exists in the other weapon.
Mm-hmm. And then the last thing we have on here, we have Forsaken Agastia. As a harp, it CA gives Dark Chaser to your dark allies, and then 15% meter bonus. And then, I mean, CA CA cap for dark is actually not that easy to find because I mean it has supplement with the Fedial swords or katanas. I can't remember which they are right now. The Fedial drop. Normal
Yeah,
attack cap can come from its astral and a few places like that. But CA cap is actually not necessarily easy to find. Like Unheil has it, and like
cool. Let me get it on Heil and
yeah,
uncap it.
right.
I think this is way better than on Heil.
Unheil has a bunch of HP on it, which is the main reason I use it.
Yeah, you can put a bunch of HP on this too.
This is also true. You
You
are
know
you
what?
are not wrong.
Also you get Chaser on your CA, and also you get 15% charge bar boost.
Yeah, Unheil's effect on CA is just cap, or I think no, it's not even cap. It's crit, isn't it? Hold on, let me find my 4-star one.
You know, we should actually go back and talk about the upgraded previous weapons because they do have an extra effect on Ogies.
Yeah, that's true. I'm just gonna look up Unheil real quickly because okay, it does do damage cap up. I do remember that. All right. Anyway, back to the previous weapons, like we said, which did also get the Awakening 20 update. So let's see. We talked about Schrodinger a little bit, but we didn't look at the actual CA effect of the new Schrodinger,
And
which
compared to
is
the old one.
before it gave you Assassin, I think, on your next attack. Let me make sure. Boost to MC's crit. That's it. All right, sure.
Now you get the assassin.
Now you get the assassin because I know that you had the assassin. People used Schrodinger
Oh no,
with
you got
Glorybringer,
assassin
but
at 4-star. You
you got
got
it was a
assassin at
4-star.
4-star.
That's right. But you have triple attacks while on your next attack.
You know, that's pretty good because sometimes you don't know if you're actually going to triple attack or not.
Yeah, that's fair. Schrodinger as a main hand, like it actually was a thing for quite a while. Once again, Glorybringer with this thing is actually really good. Like it is. Oh, what were the Glorybringer skills on this thing again? Let's see. I think it was on activation you get assassin. Let's see here.
On awaken, you got double strike.
Oh, okay. That's right. It was Awaken for double strike, and it was Resonance for full CA meter, which is what gave you the
Correct.
assassin. That's right. And then just plain attacking, it has Chaser on it, and so this thing actually attacks like a mofo. Like for being a full like CA focused thing with punching and ascendancy, this thing multi attacks pretty well with Blade's Wrath, and it just attacks really well with normal attacks. It's pretty funny. Like people have
Yeah, that's
forgotten
pretty
this
funny.
over time, but like Schrodinger has always been the second best of the weapons out of that Revans series, and you know the uh, the Fang of the Dragon Slayer at level 2 gives a debuff on its CA.
Hit to attack and defense stacking. It's on a dagger. It's not bad.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, once again, if you're there for Mana Diver and you're there for a good time and not a long time, then this thing can do some pretty funny things. But
Yeah, it's when you get to the part where you have 100 meter for 4 turns.
yeah, you'll make up for the fact that you're bleeding by giving yourself elemental damage cut question mark.
I mean, that one was always there.
Yeah, I know.
And you know, there are Earth actually does have good healers.
Hmm. We'll actually be talking about one of them later. Spoilers. The Sete de Spade over here, its new thing is I believe it was the boosted damage cap that's new.
Yeah, because before it just did everything before that part.
Yeah. I mean, sure. It's already giving everybody a bunch of damage cap anyway. CA cap, special CA cap over here. So what's a little more cap? Whatever, sure. Wind has no shortage of like swords to main hand. So Yeah, it's just Transcended Seiphon CA. That makes sense. Light, the katana, like the Symmetria was one of the most like maligned of this series because at least with Extinction Blade, you knew exactly what you were getting into, right? You're just like, I need to live. With Symmetria, you're just like, what am I doing?
I'm living? Question mark? There's Drain. There's a
Yeah,
shield on CA, and now it heals you.
as a katana main hand.
Yeah, for the katana class that you're totally using it for.
Yeah. I mean, I
When
I
the
have
other class that would have katana has a sword in their hand.
yeah, because you have the most accessible sword possible in the Opus. Yeah.
Yeah,
So like we're just looking at this thing, and so our crewmate actually did Mark II Asymmetria, partially just to live, right? Like just as an Awakening 20 stat stick, because he has a bunch of Cosmos materials, and so he used them on this, and this thing basically just exists, and then all of the Awakening bonuses are on top of it. And then you get a little bit of Garrison on the Zeus mod,
it's
and
not a
then
little bit. That's a lot. Garrison, it's big.
that's true. So
It's
it's
small
like
tempering.
yeah, and then small tempering. But mostly it's there to live. And so actually this thing actually did become quite good at living in Agastia. The only thing it's missing is reducing turn damage, basically.
Okay, they're not gonna print that when they gave that to a character
Yeah.
that you have to work for.
Yeah. Like as just a thing that exists to go to Awakening 20 that you can do worse than Symmetria. Can you do worse than Symmetria? I guess
I
you
don't think
can
so,
because
actually.
you can because
Uh,
if you are running like let's just say that you're in Agastia, right? A very common build in Agastia is that you run one of your uh, like bonus, so either Lumi or you run Zeus, and then you run either a Lucy so that you can call him as often as you can to just continue your sustain, or you have Bahamut because you're doing a bunch of CAs, right? And so you're just not going to have the ability to run the light dagger in a lot of those. So I think that would technically be the worst one. Technically,
I think the light dagger is way better in like normal use.
yeah. So you can do worse than yeah. It's tough. It's a tough one. It's very. I think Symmetria. Yeah, it's still in the place where we left it.
I mean, we didn't really change anything. We just moved the goalpost.
Yeah.
It's
Uh.
just a little bit further out, and
Mhm.
they're a lot nicer now.
Yeah. And
But the
then
goalpost, they're still the same weapons, regardless.
yeah. And then here we have Forbidden Agastia, the last one, the staff.
I actually kind of like this one.
Amp normal attack damage, tank encounter, and drain. Let's see here. So as a
Yeah,
staff main hand,
it already had the amp and the tank encounter. It
yeah, the
gained the
drain is
drain,
new. I'm just thinking like, so Necromancer and Mana Diver don't want to CA that often, which leaves Iatromantis,
which does
which
not care
does.
if you see it or not, but you want to.
This is a really good Iatromantis main hand, as long as you're not doing double spear. If you're doing like staff spear, then this is great.
If you don't have Parazonium, this is good.
Huh? That's fair. That's fair. Um.
Oh yeah, Monk's pretty good.
Ooh, yeah. We're gonna get to monks pretty soon. I actually don't see monks CA that often anymore. But then again, you barely see monks. The monk is seeing a resurgence in the last few days, but anyway,
Well,
yeah,
you might want to see CA to get your health up though,
that's true. This is very true.
and you get a counter and flags normal attacks and Seox exists.
Yeah, yeah, you get. So Forbidden Agastia, yeah, this is a pretty good one to have as a main hand, along
It's
with.
good when Seox's turn one skill one is off.
And I'm just looking. It's like the double attack mod on this thing, and then you can go to like triple attack mod basically, or quadruple attack mod with
No,
Attack
you have
Awakening.
literally every mod of
Yeah,
attack
yeah, you just have literally every attack on it.
because for our reason. This one's a magnum weapon. To be fair, there's an Omega modifier on the Earth one too, but
Yeah, I've always liked the Forbidden Agastya, and that's not changing.
we just hate the fight.
Yeah, I
That's
agree.
also not changing.
That is also not changing at all. Uh, One thing that did change is because people are just suddenly staring down the barrel of needing 700 Revans mats for things, like people are really back into the mines and they're staring and going, "Well, I just got 8 Diaspora plates. That's awesome. Only 50 more of this to get one Awakening 20." And then here we have a Mugen where I got a blue chest and I got 4 and I'm like, "Oh, okay."
At least you're guaranteed one
And when you only
if it
get one,
passes.
yeah, if you only get one, you're just so sad in the current thing of just like staring down, it's what, 75 to awaken up to 15. It is how many to uncap was it?
Uh,
Let me just fiddle with a Schrodinger real fast. I have a billion of these things. Uncap. Uncap twice or more. 1, 2, 3. Uncap further. It's 50. So 125 to get was the old number, and that was the 4 stars and awakening 15. Then you add another 600 to get it to the fives, the extra 4th star. So Mark 2 with awakening
yeah.
20.
You better keep that current awakening on it. You're actually better off just making an entirely new weapon instead of switching it.
Like, I've seen a lot of people, and they're pretty justified in this, saying, we're not going to prioritize this at all. Like, that is way too much. Like, given that these are only 6-person raids, their failure rate is still significant. It's not high anymore, but it's
But
still
it's
like
puntable.
it is definitely puntable. These things will not be able to go out to FC and reliably, not FC, FP, and reliably pass or anything like that. Not like the 18-person or 30-person raids. These ones will pass, right? Like,
However, if you added more people in here, not many people will get blue chests.
no,
That's another part of the conundrum.
no. Like, they moved the goalposts, but didn't actually like change the distance markers, and
They did
so
that just for inflation.
uh, my I've said this a couple times before in GBF history, where it's just like, I will not do this. Like, I will not focus on this at all. There are other things to do with my time.
Like play GB versus.
Yeah, I would love to play more GB Versus. I was playing GB Versus for like 2 hours already. I enjoyed my time in there. I was poking around and just having fun. This, the amount of material, like it's, we already said it's like 725 just for freaking 20. Um, and then you have the other 500 of having to do the other ones that you're not focused on in order to get through. Like, nah, no. Like,
Like you
I
actually like these raids you have to be actively trying these raids. That's the thing. You can't just like other than like not Agostia. That's the hardest one. Other than like Diaspora, CA a billion times, and then open it up when it's at 100 yellow.
mm-hmm.
You
like,
can't do that like
like,
reasonably.
yeah. So just looking at, this is one of the elements I'm focused on, right? Diaspora and Schrodinger, and so I already used one, so I had 118 Siegfried things lying around. So now I need at least 1 to 2 more Agastias, a Seaphon, a bunch of Cosmos, and God knows how many Siegfrieds. Like, I find it a little difficult with the speed of current Siegfried to get blue chest in it.
Yeah, those wind boys are going full force.
Yeah, now that they need all of these things, they're just like, all right, we're not doing it. The kid gloves are off. Like, my full auto strategy in Diaspora is no longer getting past like 2.5 million or so because everybody else is like actually mashing. It's like, mm.
Uh, I'm using the do Diaspora 7 turns, no CAs except for Vicky. So
hmm Yeah. Anyway, it is it is something that I will wait for them to have a better solution to because I am not going to play the game the way that it is currently like set out, where it's just like, oh yeah, for one of these weapons you need to run at least like 30 or 40 of each Revans for one of these weapons.
I think the one thing they can do is make it so that it doesn't reset when you change level thing.
I mean that changes the like it refunds your sunk cost. But the cost in the upfront cost is the part that's making me balk and go, I will continue playing the game as I was before. I will fight for sand, I will help crew, and yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing. Um, the the amount of grind for like, admittedly, it is more than just a small incremental update and boost. It's
Yeah,
very
attack and defense is
noticeable.
actually pretty good.
Yeah, but like this is we're back to this world where you're like mashing on the refresh button
Can't get in
and
anything.
you can't get in. You're like, nope, that is not how I wish to spend my time.
Oh, we have to find out what happens a month from now when like the hype dies down.
Yeah, and also the next month is also when the world is supposedly coming out. We'll see what happens with that release schedule.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, this always happens every time something new happens in a
Yep,
raid.
and this
So
yeah, so this is the pattern, right? Where it's like grind hard to get an incremental bonus, and then as time goes on, it'll get easier. And so for this one, I'm just like, I am okay not being on the forefront of this. I will wait for it to get easier, whether they up drops or something, whatever they do to make the Revans, like this is from their perspective as game developers and designers, the preferable thing to just when Mugens would time out, and you would just see a bunch of ones that people had retreated from, right? Like they now hard require that if you want to do this, you gotta play a lot, like a lot.
is it worth your time? You decide that. But my decision is I'm going to do it for my Mugen stuff. But that's
I'm def
doing it for other elements is questionable.
Yeah, and for me, it's yeah, definitely a matter of just like, yo, you know what? I will continue playing the game as it was before this update, and sometimes I will go, hey, I have gathered enough to upgrade one thing, and then I will upgrade one thing, and then like 3 months later, I'll maybe have another one.
Yeah, like what Ryan said, it's that we got rid of Siete swords in every element, and we haven't actually brought it up to the same power level.
hmm
Like we went forward slightly, not entirely.
Yeah, like I actually haven't looked at what's happened in Hexachromatic, but I know that our one of our dedicated fire players is just in suffering right now. He is just looking at what is changed and what he has to um, compensate for what has been lost, and he's just going, "All right, I guess I just get carried now?" Question mark. It's it's tough, but we reserve judgment. We looked at this. I'm still not convinced that the second weapons are mediocre. I still have to just wait and see how they get used because I'm not good enough at all of the grid math to understand like the intricacies of getting all 10 weapons to like a fine razor sharp edge. I'm not good at that. Um, and so I will just continue reading other people's theory craft on it. And barely anybody has these things because you have to just be going really hard and you have had to invest so many materials to get a Mark II. But anyway, um,
I just wish that they had something that actually benefited from the you having 280% of summon.
Mm-hmm. Because yeah, I mean, we've talked about how we've moved away from having that in a bunch of elements, and so they're just like, "Hey, come back!" And it's like, "Why?" You get 20% EX attack and 15% defense. It's like we had that
That's
on
it.
Revans. We had that, and it's like, but it's on Revans, so you still get the other stuff. Like, but can we get our stuff
Like the
back?
I don't like the cap ups aren't like justifiably good enough. Like if you wanted to cap out, for example, right?
Mm-hmm.
You would need 10 of a weapon for some of them, and four for normal attack, and that's not feasible for a grid space. And because you need to use double summons, what's the point when you can't when you have a ten weapon grid and you can't like double Lucy, double Baha.
Yeah.
So it was like, all right, so you fill the grid with other stuff. Grid space is already too tight. Like
Mm-hmm.
if you're actually playing Primal or playing Omega.
Right. Because the main reasons to go double Omega were usually for crit. That was basically
And
it.
and heck, you could do that with Forbidden Gastia.
Yeah. All right. Um. So
So Forbidden Gastia is the biggest winner here, actually.
I do love myself a Forbidden Agastia.
It's really good.
Yeah. I don't play Magna anymore though, so it's one of those things where it's like I'm glad that you have it. I am not going to build it.
I
I
mean, a lot of the weapons don't actually care about your
your
primal
summon. Yeah.
really. So you
Yeah.
know,
All right. On to positive things. We have ourselves some game balance updates. 4 characters, 3 who really did need it, and then one who we were just like, she got such a minor change. It doesn't seem minor um, when you actually play it, but it's like we changed a damage cap and then one skill. It's like that's all she needed to be really good anyway, because she started out really good. All right, let's start with the character that you have played a lot and know exactly what her shortcomings were before. So here's Valentine Scatha.
we still have some shortcomings.
All right, so her new
Only
CA,
one,
yeah, her new CA ends the cooldown for Mellow Quest, and it doesn't use sprinkles anymore.
correct.
And then
That's the biggest thing.
so once she gets sprinkles, she mostly keeps them except for she has like the satyr clause, right, where it's use up 2 of them and then use her clarity and heal.
Which one are we talking about again?
Deirdre's benevolence. So T for 2. When the foe uses a special attack, she eats 2 sprinkles. She casts Deirdre's benevolence.
Oh yeah, that's the only way she uses it now.
Yeah,
It used to be that it was on both her skills that weren't skill one,
yeah. Like she would eat her. You had to choose which one ate sprinkles.
and usually you don't know you didn't really choose.
Hmm.
So now, it's really actually nice. Stackable fire attack up is way better than just a flat up fire attack because it stays forever.
Yeah, there is exactly one reason that this is not as good, and it's because before she activated Shiva's passive, now she doesn't. And that's more of a problem with Shiva than it is with her, honestly.
I mean, I never noticed because didn't have them.
Yeah, but anyway, keep going.
Healing's not bad. 4,500 at cap. 1,700 if you had one sprinkle. It did weird numbers. It was 700 each sprinkle.
Hmm.
But if you have five sprinkles, by the way, you just remove 2 debuffs. If you have less than it, you just remove one. Still really nice, and
Hmm.
it auto activated if you had 2 sprinkles,
Yeah.
and the foe decided to hit you.
Hmm. And so,
Is good in early raids
hmm where
because
the
nowadays
clear.
raids are you can't clear enough or you don't. Or you can't clear it all.
Because it's a punishment for doing something wrong in most cases.
Yeah. Therefore, Satyr's still queen for that part.
Mm-hmm. With her rebalance, yeah, Satyr is amazing, and yeah. So here's the change to True Dragon's Boon, which is she has hostility up now. Let me go look at why she cares about having hostility up.
She wants to be attacked.
Is that how she gets sprinkles?
Yes.
Okay,
When she's
that's right.
targeted.
Yeah, gain 1 sprinkle when targeted by a foe. Got it.
Wait, did True Dragon's Boon actually change? Hold on.
Let me look.
I don't think it changed.
It says True Dragon's Boon changed. It says more likely to be targeted as new, and then at the end of the turn in which
More
Skatha
likely to be targeted. That's new. Okay.
yeah, and then fully restore fire allies' HP 1 time. Was it a full heal before?
They didn't.
I think it was, wasn't it?
Yes.
Was it? Did it require? Oh, didn't it require everybody to be in the red before?
No, it was just her. Also, I think it was just her.
Was it? Okay.
I forget. The game the notes on the wiki is wrong. So
I'm just gonna look at the history page of wiki and just look at. All right, the version of her that was on October 24th. It said T for 2 just said Chaser to. Wait, if Skatha is below 25% HP, consume True Dragon's Boon. Oh, okay. Wait, it is still the same thing. So it added the more likely to be targeted. And if at the end of turn, if Skatha is yeah.
Because the before 25 already existed.
Yeah, True Dragon's Boon didn't have anything. Like I guess they just took away the buff specifically that says True Dragon's Boon ? All right, sure. Anyway, so what were you saying were the problems with this? Like you said, there's still a remaining problem with her and how she works. Is it?
Oh yeah, your skill 1 still goes off your max HP.
Oh, and it's still a max of 5,000 on the shield, isn't it?
Correct. So once again, going back to
the Frau problem.
The Frau problem, which was originally this character's problem, by the way.
Right. And it in context, by the way, of just at the same time, it's very weird that at the same time that they didn't adjust the shield amount on Skatha, they did adjust the shield amount on Jessica.
Oh, Jessica's amazing on that one.
Yeah. So anyway.
But yeah, no, they like you consume 25% of your max HP. So you go down to 75, 50, whatever. If you're below 25%, if one character is below 25%, you can't use the skill.
Mm-hmm.
Because it hard requires the max HP part.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what they did? They actually updated T for 2 at least.
Yeah. Wind damage reduction on it.
Yeah, wind damage. The chaser went up from 10% to 30%.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, good luck with staying that long with a 5,000 shield, and you are down like 1 billion health.
Yeah. All right.
Your DJ benevolence won't get you that far.
Yeah. Meanwhile, so looking at Azazel, you said that Skatha is good against early raids. Like Azazel has the exact same problem where he's great against early raids because Petrify works against them, and now it doesn't. Like once you get into the actual hard stuff, they just turned off the ability for Petrify to hit. And while they moved some things off of requiring Petrify, like, all right, so let's start at the bottom. If the opponent has Petrify, if any foe has Petrify on them at the end of the turn, now he gives 2-hit Flurry to himself and a random ally, and Flurry's great. And then if there is no Petrify, then he will continue trying to Petrify until something actually gets petrified.
So the old effect used to be that if there's no Petrify, all allies get 5% fire attack up to 30% at the end of the turn.
Ew.
His skills were the ones that gave Petrify, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, and then they had an extra effect if they already had Petrify, I believe.
Yeah.
But it's just like, So they didn't remove his dependency on Petrify landing. They just have him spam it until it lands again. And by again, I
Here's
mean,
here's the thing with debuffs. They can miss later.
yeah.
So
All right.
good luck.
Yeah, so Grigori's Inferno, they changed to just CA specs up against Petrify. Before, I think it was just damage up or something like that. I forget. Um, Dark Dominator is a skill that just says everybody on the team deals triple attacks along with the crit and keen. And then if the foe has Petrify, then it's attack out of turn.
The old, by the way, the other effect, old effect was it was a 70-30, by the way.
For crit, yeah.
Yeah, 30% DA and 50% TA.
Ugh.
Why? Good question.
And so now everybody deals triple attacks. Like there is there are multiple ways in V2 for this to be useful because there are multiple things that just say, please give me a hit count, or please everybody triple attack. And so he can press a button and do that. That's great.
The question is if he can petrify and for the other parts.
Nope.
Nope.
So Fields of Despair, fire. It's a fire nuke, the delay, and then an additional effect with Petrify. It happens twice, so he can try and double delay. It's weird because if something is petrified, a lot of the time delaying doesn't do anything to it because the whole point of Petrify is that they can't build CT dots. It's a little weird. The double nuke is nice, but
The funny thing is the old effects of if it was petrified
damage specs up.
Was the current effects normal skill damage cap.
All right.
But hey, they increased the accuracy of petrify,
Yeah.
I guess.
All right. So the next thing, Shadow Cloak. Everybody gets dodge tank encounter now. And then
Yeah, he used to just be himself.
and then you get amp autos to foes who have Petrify on them. And then not just that, but against foes with Petrify, it's not just Fire Chaser, but also Damage Supplement. So they really, really, really doubled down. They like quadrupled down on he's really good against scared things.
He's spooky.
He's very
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween, he's spooky. But it's like this still doesn't work against half
No.
of the game that matters.
If you follow him, you like him, it's cool.
Yeah. It's flavorful for sure, but this is definitely not meant to be like super endgame viable. This part where it says all allies deal triple attacks, and then they're trying to push at the edges of what is good enough to provide flurry to other people, and they're like, all right,
It's a hard requirement, and good luck.
yeah. So
Also, it's random on who's the other person gets.
yeah, yeah. Meanwhile, we go down to Jessica, and it's just like her Phlegishus, or whatever you say it, the heal got increased. Her shield got increased, and the cooldown went down. So just from those two things, her ability as a healer and a support, it went way, 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 way up, way up. Then the special buffs. She gives all of these fireworks special buffs: attack, defense, multi-attack. Um, the debuffs to success rate was, I think, with fireworks before. I forget. The character was pretty complicated before. Now she adds in
Yeah, I remember
supplemental.
that.
Now she adds in supplemental, and then when her fire support is at 2, and it's a maximum of 2, then she eats both of those levels to provide chaser along with the supplemental damage and all these other buffs. And the numbers went up. And so it's actually much more worth pressing the button and eating your fire support.
Yeah, I do appreciate that you just get the supplemental now instead of requiring the fire support.
Yeah. And then when she always had vacation gear to extend the number of times that she fires the cannon and heals you.
She just starts with 2 fire support.
Yeah. And so this character just got way better.
Also, that shield is amazing and doesn't consume health.
Yeah. Yeah. And then Magisa's change is that she gets a little more oomph on the Holy Night Ray nuke, which is, uh, it's subtly good because she auto casts this, and she casts it after her CA, and she's going to be CAing a whole lot more often because of the change to Land Eruption. So Land Eruption was sort of her centerpiece skill because
But the thing they changed is that you don't need to wait from turn 10 and onward for the last effects.
yeah, and the other thing is that the ability to cast it more often is actually really good because hidden on Holiday Magisa, if you don't remember, is that once she has cast Land Eruption, then she starts fighting with Morax.
You
And
know,
the
that
fact,
dude's around. Level 3.
yeah, um, and like the whole the eruption magics thing, and depending on how many crests you had, it changed. Um, like, uh, yeah, like fighting alongside Morax thing on a 9-turn cooldown. So a lot of the time that you barely saw this. Now with the cooldown cut by 1 every time that she gains a crest, you'll see this a lot more often. Like a lot more often. And then, she'll CA because of Land Eruption, giving everybody meter. So then she'll cast a Holy Night Ray, which gives her a Wasteland Crest and lowers Land Eruption's cooldown by another 1.
This is just on her in a vacuum. You know, Mana Diver exists,
Mm-hmm.
which Mana Diver grants a crest.
Yeah. Like, one of the only weaknesses for Magisa as a character that was holding her back is that Earth just has kind of crappy crest support in the first place. Because it's
Yuga's
like,
kind of fine.
Yuga's alright. The alchemists are very unstable, and they eat crests more than they actually like
Well,
provide them.
the alchemists only give it to themselves.
Yeah, that's not really support. And then like, it's which of the Medusas is it again? It's regular Medusa, right? Who cares about crests?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's regular, and she
yeah,
gives it every 6 turns.
yeah. That's not support. that's the
It's better.
opposite of support.
It's better than CAG every 7 turns.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, the rest of the Earth Crest lineup around here is kind of poopy for keep giving her this. Like they add one more like Crest style character, if they give her, her dark partner, if they give her Manamel, oh man, oh baby. This character is
Yeah,
going insane with one more like Crest supporter because
I don't want an Earth Manimal. Give her Enlight.
I would I just want more Manamel. So, that's me. I am a
I mean,
Manamel enjoyer.
her storyline's not over.
True, true. But like Magisa had the least changed and yet the most changed because having higher uptime on Earth and Magics is huge, huge. Like
Yeah, it's like 4 turn duration, so you were down 5 turns. So now, if you're just granted 5 crests somewhere,
it's just up. Like yeah, 10th Tekken's chat is like Earth Crest is the meme with the dog and the stick. Consume Crest, no make, only consume.
and then you can
Uh,
play her in Shadowverse, and you can make her play Earth right.
yeah, but it's like this character is an engine in and of herself in some ways, but yeah, she really, really, really gets broken with one more source of crests than we already have. Then you get permanent earthen eruption or whatever, earthen magics. Whew, that's a lot.
Yeah, it's like skill 1 gives it to her, skill 2 gives it to everybody, gives it to her specific, only her, but that's fine.
And not just that, but once she CAs, like I said, she just does it and gives herself a crest back. This character is yeah, like she's another of the rebalances to just watch out for. Like Arulumea sat around for a little bit and then there was a lot more on element content that mattered because like Arulumea changed and it took a while for people to catch up to a point where they realized how good she was. And then, there was this sudden major way to make everybody take water damage that they did, and Arulame
Yeah.
just became like one of the best defensive supports possible. And so that's kind of the same thing for Magiso. Like one change is all it takes at this point. Like she's right there.
I'm still waiting for my light switch game.
Yeah, yeah. Wait, light switch? Isn't that?
Excuse me,
That's.
dark switch.
I was gonna say that's Lich, right? It's right there. I can see it.
Oh
Yeah,
no, I don't at this point.
yeah. Dark switch is tough for them to build around right now because Geisenborger exists.
Yeah, and I don't care at this point.
I mean, that is a valid opinion to have.
They've literally made it where you take a billion 10,000s a turn.
Yeah, yeah. With all of the damage reduction, with Lich Light Switch, all these things, and like we still like, yeah, Cosmo hits really hard. We're still scared of her. Like we're running Draconic weapons in our grids now, and Cosmo still beats the snot out of us. Agastya still makes us bleed. Hexa still has hands. Anyway, so
And
those are the.
one element can just turn all the water.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, that's where that game is right now. I'm happy about going back to GB Versus after this. Like I'm
I'm
enjoying
done
watching this.
talking.
What? Yeah.
Ultimate Masteries.
We're not done talking. You're right. There are Ultimate Masteries too. You're right. All right. Let's go. We're going into Bandit Tycoon, which
I love
recently just
rolling
got
the
the king.
dice, baby.
Let's go into. I have Bandit Tycoon in fire. Yeah, roll the dice is just a fun name for a thing. All right. So new things that we've got. We've got three new things, and then the fourth thing is basically just stats. The stats are whatever, but we got step one, Sublime Springscape. Based on your bounty hunt level, this thing gets more hits, maximum of 8 hits. And when your bounty is 5 or higher, this thing auto activates on attacks.
That's really good.
Hell yeah, it is. You basically are doing the same thing as Chaos Ruler, but the requirement instead of freaking, what is it, 10 or 12 debuffs is bounty 5, which is a lot.
And bounty does not fall off.
Yeah.
So you cap out at 7 bounty.
Mm-hmm.
However, there's an element that really loves bounty because the person always hits.
Mm-hmm. Lunaloo, right? No, I'm kidding. Copying Tien. It's Tien. Yeah. And then you were saying roll of the dice. We were talking about how they were experimenting with Flurry. It's like they're like, yeah, you know what? Let's just give Flurry to the main character. Robin Hood has it. Now Bandit Tycoon has it. So this is 3 to 5 Flurry, and then 1 turn. 3 to 5 Bounty, and then 1 turn of Flurry.
All you need rolls a 3. Because Tien's the other 3, and now you're at 5 bounty.
Yeah, and
Time to
then
auto activate Sublime in neutral.
And so those are the two that are designed to work with each other, right? Because like this is your replacement for, what was it? Treasure Hunt 4 was the previous one.
It was so garbage, yeah.
It was. Oh wait, it's on the second page now, isn't it? Yep, there it is. Bounty Hunter 4. And then now the other one, the other option you can do is Heart of Chivalry. So you become the actual Goemon, and so you steal from the rich, and you give to your own party, who we've mentioned are rolling in millions of rupees. But don't worry about it.
So you get DA up, TA up, 50k supplemental on normals, and when you triple attack, you do 555 plain damage, and you heal 1,000. Okay.
And the uptime on it is 5 out of
5
10.
turns.
Yeah, all right. We're playing.
Anyways,
Sublime
let's
Springscape,
roll the dice.
And but the thing is that's if you don't need onslaught. Like
But
like fire gives you onslaught, light gives you onslaught. without, there's other characters who can provide it. So, yeah. I do like what they did to Bandit Tycoon. This is fun.
I'm definitely using this when I don't want to kill myself.
So next up it was Nighthound next. So I have
All
Nighthound
right,
over
that was the
here.
least class I actually experimented with.
So, all right, I'll talk about Monk. Here's Monk. Um, we've so Monk had fallen off because of two reasons. One, Mana Diver is all front loaded as opposed to back loaded, and its ramp time requires crests, which it provides itself. Monk required martial prowess, and it gave itself a chance to do post turn damage, which means it was bad at V2.
Yeah,
So
because it's post turn, and
yeah,
not only that, if you get to red, you are now in a spiral. Good luck recovering.
yeah. So here they were like, all right, let's just let's just lead into this whole, like, we know that the Eliza design works. So here we go. Here's Fervent Focus. Actually no. So these are all unique buffs, right? Yeah, they're all unique. Like, they're all stances basically. So we were starting from the bottom because this is the one I know the least about. Here's Fervent Focus. So it's 7 turn cooldown, 5 turn uptime. Okay, so
That's a pretty bad. That's pretty good.
and then while it's in effect, you get a boost to hostility and defense, and you get a tank and counter. So you kind of get a little bit of the luchador in there. You get amped counter attacks. That's what I call the Eliza.
Yeah, 50%.
You heal your entire party when a foe uses a special attack.
1,000.
You cut debuff durations when a foe uses a special attack. But it requires you to be at martial prowess 5 or higher to get into there in the first place.
To be fair, skill 1 gives you what? 3?
3. Once you have ultimate mastery, like, and that means you have the regular mastery, then pressing skill 1 gives you 3 of them.
So you just need to find the other red buttons.
Yeah.
Or I forget.
2
Do you
more.
also get it from triple tack?
I'm gonna have to.
You get it when using a CA.
It's CA that gives you. Yeah. Okay. There it is. Yeah. Damage skills or charge attack. That's right. All right. So going back to that one's like, yeah, sure, whatever. That's Fervent Focus. Mystic Resto. This is one of the ones that is actually getting a lot of use right now.
I mean, look at it.
Yeah.
It doesn't require martial prowess to do it. You gain undying,
Yep. And it
and
gives you the
then you just
Onray.
get and then you when you normal attack, you get 4 hits of damage that
Yep.
gets supplemented because you're a monk.
Yep. And
And if
then
you go below 25, you get rid of the buff, but you fully restore your HP, get rid of your debuffs, and end your cooldowns on your red buttons, and you just get 100 meter.
yeah. So this fixes you go into a death spiral when you hit red health, in that you're no longer in red health, and gives you at least 4 of the 5 martial prowess that you lost back. 3 from getting one skill 1 back, 1 for the CA, and so if you have any other red button, then you're doing great. Uh, that's the emergency case, though. In the ideal case, you just never go into the red, and you just keep Mystic Resto on, and you just continue just beating the ever-loving
Four
snot out of
hits.
things. Yeah. And then Enlightened Fury is the other one. So Mystic Resto and Enlightened Fury are the Bash brothers here. So Enlightened
Yeah, you
Fury
can play
is,
both of them.
yeah. So it's 3 hits, sure, yeah. And then you get once again a unique buff. So it's undispellable, 3 out of 10.
However,
Yeah.
these 3 turns are really cool.
So while in effect, you get multi-attack up.
It's 100% DA and 50% TA.
Mm-hmm. And one of the big problems with Monk in general is that you're a single attack machine, because they were like, yeah, all you need to do is just press skills, right? No.
I need CA sometime.
Yeah. You get supplemented skill damage. I'm gonna
At
guess it's
50k.
Well, I was gonna guess 30. 50 is really good. You get 4 extra hits on Mantra.
Yeah, that's insane. Also, 100% chance to activate Mantra.
Yeah, and you also Mantra gives you another martial prowess.
So
Sure.
we're ramping.
Yeah. So I see a lot of setups with Monk right now. You just You start with Monk Skill 1, you're at 3. You press Enlightened Fury, you're at 4. Um, you're holding a Kanabo, so now your mantra has like 10 hits or something like that. It's dumb.
Yeah, it's
It's
so
really funny.
sick.
It's so cool.
I'm gonna make a Kanabo after this.
I'm checking to see how many of my Kanabos I kept. Do, 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 do,
Oh, because
do.
you fed them to your turtles, didn't you?
I may have. So series, where are you, class
Clash
champion
champion
weapons?
weapons.
Did I keep the Kanabos? All right, so here's all my Selines. Here's all my Kanashiges. There's 3 John Does. Here's my Runeslayer 1. No, did I eat my Kanabos?
Well, time to build them again.
My Kanabos. I loved those Kanabos. Did I feed them
Did you
all?
love them enough?
I clearly didn't. Wait, my light Kanabo is still here. I still have my light Kanabo. Where'd my wind Kanabo go? Oh, they're still. I have 2 light Kanabos? Hold on.
Hold on, hold on, hold on.
Wait, so here's my fire Kanabo, here's my wind Kanabo, here's my
Wait,
light
wasn't it
Kanabo.
Earth? Wait, hold on. Go back to
Oh, yeah, I'm
first
going
station.
back. We're going back. We're going
I
back.
thought that was Earth.
Okay, so I still have my 4 Kanabos. Phew. All right. All right. My Kanabos are back. All right. Okay.
All right, you're not that silly to make 2 lights. You
I've
would have
done
fed it already.
I've done some dumb things in this game, all right?
All right, but you wouldn't have been able to keep it on screen.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. So what? Kanabo is what? +2 hits to mantra, and then the new skill is +4. 10
Yeah,
hits
that's a
of
lot.
mantra. Whoo, baby. Oh, Kanabo
Uh,
is back on the menu. I love it. I love it. I love these. I've always loved Kanabo. Now when Relic Buster Ultimate Mastery comes out, it's like make my Selines good again, please. I love my Selines. Did I forget to make a Celine? I don't have an Earth Celine. All right, I'll fix
you
that
don't need
later.
it.
Also true, but still, it's the principle of the thing. I love these little idiots. Anyway, but yeah, Monk is super sick. I love that. People have been using this in like Siegfried right now, although it's kind of a suicide build in Siegfried.
You're not gonna live,
No, but you're taking Siegfried down with you.
or you're taking the raid down with you.
They're fine. They're all paladins, right? Right, Reno?
Why
Reno?
is there five? Why is there five?
Apsaruses
Yeah.
and monks.
I think
Uh,
that it might not clear.
uh...
I think we burn out with the sun at 50%.
You just look Siegfried straight in the eyes and jump into the flames.
He had that one earlier. It punted.
Yeah, I don't have the defense to bring this into Siegfried, but I still just love the crap out of I love the crap out of Monk and so I will use any excuse I can, and these are good excuses to bring it back. Oh baby.
All right, next one's
Rising
Ritual.
Force, which is actually another favorite class of mine. I still use this when possible, and mostly the when possible is water with a bonito. To be absolutely honest with you,
So you're using it for one turn.
but there's these 3 new things, and they encourage you to play in entirely different ways. So here's Fever Pitch. It eats 30 of your team's meter, as opposed to Jet, which just sucks out other people's meter.
It lasts for 5 turns. However, it does not have the clause where it cannot be extended.
So you can continue extending it, yeah, sure. And then while it's in effect, you get Uplift, you get Damage Reduction, Debuff Resistance, and Refresh.
All right, so 15% uplift, 20%, not 20%, that would be ridiculous. 2,000 mitigation,
Yeah.
100% debuff resistance, and you heal 1,000 each turn. That one's whatever. But everything else before that,
It's really good. Like, I've seen more and more people with the diaspora strategy of, getting to Gamma 100 and opening, and they've been like, this is the low end, right? This is how your team with like a couple of Perseuses and like an Yggdrasil staff and stuff like that is going to be able to get your foot in the door of the Revans. Like, this thing really, really hard carries in a lot of the cases. Like you're sturdier, you're getting yourself a lot of meter, you're healing, you're immune to debuffs for a little bit. Like this thing's sick. Um, Here's Pinch Harmonics. Pinch Harmonics is another of the, like, if you fulfill a condition, then it auto activates. In this case, it's if you have 10 or more buffs and UCA. It's really easy to get to both of those as a rising force.
The question is, can you keep the buffs?
Well, there's no dispel cancel here, so you gotta
Yeah. So which elements have the spell cancel that's easily available?
easily. Then
Yeah, that's why I said that part.
yeah. Um,
Earth with Aota.
well, his requires level 150, right? So that I don't know about easy because otherwise you can say wind with also with level 150 neon.
I
Um,
would keep that because I, you have to be knowing what you're doing if you're gonna play this class.
I mean that's fair. Um, let's see here. Fires comes from characters who aren't necessarily in common use anymore. Like Athena
And
has
they,
it,
yeah, but
but it's
she doesn't refresh hers is the problem.
yeah, it's on a long ass cooldown, isn't it?
Yeah.
7 turn. Like 5 is about the standard of like we can kind of rely on this to be up. What?
Because I'm always thinking about the use case of United Fight
Hmm. Well, water can get it. Water can get it pretty easily with Anne. Anne gives it. Um,
on CA, right?
yeah, and it's not as bad to give. Like when you give Anne 15 meter a turn, then it's not so bad. Diantha gives it.
Oh
Vicky gives
yeah,
it.
at Hype 4.
Yeah. So water can do pretty well with keeping all of your buffs on for pinch harmonics, and since you get an auto dispel after your CA, and if you're water, you have like 8 characters who all dispel on
CA.
their CA,
Yeah.
and also dispel on that CA, and it's just like yeah. So this is definitely like very water friendly. This pinch harmonics. This last one is still making me laugh. Everlasting bonds make a band. It's
Yeah,
like
that's fair. That's fair.
all right, so you form a band, and for every harp specialty main ally who's in the front line, then you get the following thing. Uh, so I'm looking at the numbers. So you get 25% TA
So
per
minimum,
harp.
so minimum 50.
Is it minimum 50? Oh yeah, you have
Because
to
your main
have.
character.
It's not just that, but there's the clause. You have to have at least one other harp character to cast this at all. So minimum 50, max 100. So you can give your entire team 100% triple attack, which fills in the turns where you're not CAing, which has a
You just need a full harp team, which I think the best one is wind.
wind, absolutely wind. Fires isn't bad. Earth's is not great. Well, Earth is fine actually. You have Bale, you have Satyr,
Althoria.
Anthuria. Yeah. Is Satyr harp in Earth? Let me actually see.
She's sword. Wait, I think she's harp in Earth. Yeah,
Yeah.
she is. In Earth specifically, she's harp because
Just making sure.
she's singing.
Right. I was trying to make sure I wasn't like spooking myself because I've been playing with Earth Satyr for so long, I forgot that Fire Satyr has a staff. I'm like, oh yeah, huh? That's the early version. Anyway,
You all the ULs.
yeah. Fire UL, Wind UL, both having had resurgences lately.
Mahira.
Ooh, yeah, she's a good one. Yeah, Earth's great.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's the triple attack. So it fills in all the turns where you're not CAing, and your Rising Force you want to CA, and then you're trying to find every possible way in between turns to get back to the point where you can CA. So here's Everlasting Bonds. You know, um, you also
Just pick a
get
band.
yeah, you also get CA specs, which is 15% damage per character who's harp, so a max of 60, 10% cap to a max of 40 And then this is the realest part of it. 5% damage cap per person up to 20%
That's pretty good.
for your entire team. Oh baby.
I just want to play the win team now because you want to see it with that one because what's her face? Sulfira can cast her 2 skills again.
Yeah. And Neon is just one of the best harp characters in the game, so
I wasn't even thinking about her
I mean that's fair.
because
There's
they added to Cantante and Caro.
there's Cantate and Karo. You also have, Wind UL, who, like we just mentioned, Wind UL being a wait, there
Don't
she
hit
is.
me. I have not been hit. Have fun.
She's yeah. And when she CAs, she just gets a dodge all. So giving her extra multi attack, giving her extra everything is hugely worth it.
Yeah, that character when they updated her, I'm like, she became like super useful in United Fight.
Yeah, she became useful in Galleon. We were mentioning
Galleon
that.
doesn't even attack half the time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's sick.
Well, I'm gonna replace Maya real quick.
Yeah, that's absolutely fair. But yeah, really, really fun Rising Force update. So, the last one, I talked about it, but I forgot to actually have the class on. Nighthound used to just be a way to get rid of your main character, and now King is better at it. So Nighthound really,
They became OTK
yeah,
with
with
enough
just
gun and arrow teams.
yeah. And so what they're trying, they're trying a lot of different things with this. And so we've got 3 different ones. So here's them trying rearguard relocation. So they're doing the thing that they've done with other snipers, where you sub out for 5 turns and then come back. So ready in 3 turns.
However, you can recast this one, unlike
Yeah,
most others.
because you come back. That's the big thing. It doesn't require anyone to die. They just naturally switch
Does
back at the end.
doesn't one of them actually come back already? But you can't recast.
Yes, I think it's one of the Silvas.
I think it's one of the Silvas.
I think it's Light Silva. It's either Light or
It's
Earth.
water.
It's not. No, Water Silva. It's on her skill 4, right? Does she? It's been so long since I actually looked at Silva's skills.
It lasts for 3 turns, and she comes back.
And that's water.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
so that one, but she actually gets a cooldown of 8 turns after that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the light one doesn't come back when she swaps. And then the earth one, I think she also swaps. Yeah, and then she does backup fire. So it's basically just the fire one who doesn't have a swap out anymore for sniping stuff.
And
So anyway,
that one is broken in different and actually used for reasons.
yeah, as opposed to being a backline passive. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, rearguard relocation. You swap out for 5 turns. It starts on turn 3, and then you provide backup fire to all allies. And so what backup fire is that you now deal bonus damage on attacks. Also, you give whatchamacallit, dispel immunity. Not just dispel cancel, it's just full immunity. Keen normal attack amp. And then yeah, when you're done, you switch back out to the MC.
It's pretty good actually.
It's
Like if you want swap out for even harder hit auto attacker, for example, it's really good. Or you just swap out in your other super hard hitting auto attackers and like dark, for example, are on frontline.
Yeah, all right. So just making the wording's a little weird. So main character swaps out with sub, and then everybody gets the 5 things, the things for 5 turns. I mean, 5 turns, 5 turns, and so everybody gets 100% chance of critting for 20% extra damage, along with the keen. The keen's the main thing there. You get 5 turns of not being dispelled. You get 10% damage amp to your entire team. You do a small nuke on their attacks. It's like it says here that is 220k, but you do it on all four of them, so
That's
you,
also hit count.
yeah, it's a very you turn yourself into a full 1/4 of Hasilia, which is still very good. And then at the end of those 5 turns, your main character comes back. You get to do various things like you can summon again. You can do all these other sorts of things, and then after another 5 turns, then you can rear guard relocate again and do it all over. Not bad.
Yeah. Yeah, it exists.
Hmm.
That's the best I can give it. It's cool, but it's not like that astounding.
Yeah. So stealth protocol here. Um, well, giving your entire team 5 turns of dispel cancel is a very strong feature. So if you can find the right timing where between turns 3 and 8 you cannot be dispelled, and you're doing a bit of extra damage, then that's what rear guard relocation would be for. All right, next up we have homing beacon, which is the next simple one. Homing beacon. So every it gives you a buff that says every 3 turns. Wait, is it no? Sorry, it's
No,
not
it's
a
a
buff. It's a
debuff.
debuff. It's a debuff. It's a permanent local debuff, and it says debuff resist down. Sorry,
Stackable.
every 3 turns the following things happen. Sorry, let me say it all through. It takes 5 hits of 2/2, 2/2, 2/2. Um, then it gets dispelled, and it gets a 180-second stacking debuff resistance down.
So if you're like moving every like 3 turns,
Hmm.
which you should be,
Hmm. So permanent debuffs have a place.
this counts as two pretty much.
Yeah. And then here's stealth protocol. Stealth protocol is the most complicated one out of all of these. Like everything that we've said so far is just like a half of stealth protocol's effect. All right, so stealth protocol. In Japanese, by the way, it's called sneaking type, which is really funny to me. So here's a 7 turn cooldown, 5 turn uptime, and you get the following things. You put yourself in hiding, so you can't normal attack. You are hostility, I believe, goes to like almost 0.
We cannot do it to 2-0 because of Yaya things a billion years ago.
Yeah. Um, on CA, then you give assassin to the next person in line, and
One
at
hit
the
assassin, yeah.
and at the end of any turn when the caster did not take damage, then you get 1,000% nuke, and the cap on that is 1.16 million, which is high. Um, you force supplemental damage, which is 30,000 for 1 turn, and you get 50% meter, which helps you get back to the
You're
CA
actually
to
seeing
give a
part.
chance. Yeah. So you turn yourself into a mini Yukata Silva. Like these two, all of these two things right here are basically like we've taken parts that people like about Silva, and we're adapting them to the main character.
So you can use the nukes, the new Revan bow for that
Hmm.
because you're CAing, so you want to CA with something.
Hmm.
What other guns and bows would you want to CA with? Is the next question.
Uh, the the bow, the draconic bow in Earth is continues to be an all-star. Whoops, wrong section. Because that friend gives chaser as well, along with all of the survival things. And hey, you can upgrade this thing and use it with your opus now. So bonus earth damage on this thing. Does it get an extra effect when you go to the next level of draconic? Let's find out. I forget these things. Wrong one. I instinctively clicked on water. Here we go. Yes, that's right. It gives supplemental damage along with the chaser. So you give
Oh
assassin,
yeah, I remember being mad about this.
chaser, and supplemental. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So if you are an Earth Nighthound, you are chilling with this thing and stealth protocol. And whoever's next in line is very, very happy because you are providing them all. You are the setter in a volleyball team, and you are ready for them to spike it.
I'm looking at fire guns. It's not very pretty.
Um,
Benedea.
Water gun, you really, really want to attack with. I'm just putting that out there. Water gun is not going to use this. I keep doing that because there's three types of water guns. There's the Hraesvelgr, where your MC is the one doing all of the damage. There's the Exo gun, where your MC is doing all of the damage because you are flurrying, isn't it? Yeah, you flurry after it's CA.
Hey, the plasma slicer is actually kind of decent.
Which one?
It's plasma slicer. Attack down, defense down, water
Mm-hmm.
defense down.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, I was saying the third kind is you're holding a Clarion because you just want skill cap.
Well, the dodge is nice.
Yeah. Let's see. Earth guns, it's mostly dominated by Galleon gun in terms of accessibility.
You're gonna see a lot.
Yeah. But really, you would be using this with bow, so Uh, wind bows, the Raphael bow is nothing to really write home about. These guns are kind of sad in terms of CAs.
Oh man, compact automatic pistol.
One turn cut to MC's debuff skill cooldowns. Boost to skill damage cap. I don't know about this exo bow. I don't know about this one with Nighthound.
Wait, hold on.
What's up?
If you
What are you
have a
looking at?
bunch of guns and bow characters with that, you know what's a blue button for
Time,
that class?
time on target.
Yeah,
Okay. We're
we're gonna lower that cooldown.
that actually is kind of cooking with gas right there. I
That thing's a
admit that.
15 turn cooldown. We're lowering the cooldown.
We're cooking with less gas again.
Hey, look, this gas is cool.
It is funny though. Yeah, Rodrant's like with Galleon's 30 bar to MC on its CA, you might be able to just CA every turn given the 50% from that 30%. You just need to make up another 20%.
Yeah, it's called Monaco or Seder.
Yeah. But then the thing is that once again, since you're providing assassin to the next person, assassin's bad on CAs. You would rather have them auto. All right, let's see. I have very fond memories of the Flamma Orbis here, with the mirror image to all allies, and then you're giving people shooting at the star, aren't you?
You're definitely giving them shooting the star.
So you give them supplemental, as long as they have divinity though. So you still have to have summoned the star, or
What?
you have to have. What if the next person in line was in fact a 5-star Geisenberger who already has assassin by existing?
Yeah, we don't care about the other characters. We care about the Geisenberger. He has a EMP. He has what was it? He has a skill that goes off this.
Yeah, but it's just like he gives it to himself. Well, I guess you can use it.
No, I'm not talking about that part.
Oh, okay.
There's a specific thing that says if you CA with the shooting star.
I forgot that text existed. Oh my god.
Domain, he gets 70% not meter, bonus light damage when MC uses shooting of the star CA. Lasts for 2.5 turns, so
Did
he
you
gets 3
know?
turns effectively.
I absolutely forgot that existed. It was just a requirement for his 5-star, and then I forgot about it. Okay, that's cooking. That is cooking.
Yeah.
Nighthawk.
And
All
guess
right.
what? You're not getting hit. Geisenberger's here.
This sounds fun as hell, actually. Oh, that sounds. All right, we got to do this. We got to find the fight for this.
What do you mean? Instead you can fight, you can bring Geisenberger to the front. There's a lot of fights you can do that in.
Yeah, unfortunately, Agastya is not one of them.
Oh no, no. But there are fights that you can clown on them. So
Yeah, yeah. Oh man, I looked at just how dirty I've been doing Geisenborger this entire time. He has a triple attack earring on. Like what?
when he quad attacks.
I'm just gonna do this right now because now I'm just looking at
Darvis is
how
just some garbage on a reroll.
this is all
Show us
garbage.
this is so bad.
Stop! I hate earrings sometimes, man. Counters on dodge? What? Fine, he'll keep enmity. Whatever, I don't care.
He doesn't even need it. He caps already with low HP.
Whatever, man. Whatever. All right. Anyway, we've
Anyways,
convinced ourselves to try a lot of.
get ready to pray upon the star.
Yeah, I've convinced myself to do a lot of really fun random things with these ultimate masteries. So that's the fun part. We got past the not fun part, and we got back to the fun. These ultimate masteries are really silly. I love them.
I mean, you get to find a combo, and if the combo works, it's great.
Yeah. Oh man, shooting of the Star Nighthound into guys. Oh,
Well,
this is gonna be.
you have to find a way to switch into Geisenberger, which I guess you bring back good old Rockham or Colossus.
You need to specifically bring in Geisenborger in the second slot. That's the other part of it.
Yeah, that's called
Rockham
Colossus
or
or Rockham.
yeah, that's fair. Oh man.
Heck, what your MC's being less targeted right now. Rockham might get hit.
Oh, that's funny. Oh man. At least twice during this show, I have just started like laughing so hard I started tearing up.
Look,
Oh,
this is why I'm on because I find the stupid answers.
hell yeah. Anyway, so that's it for this time around. Like we didn't even mention Rise of the Beast. Like it has turned into just sort of one of those things that happens, and if you do it, you do it. If you don't, you can catch up next time.
Like I think the only thing important about Rise of the Beast is getting the seals and call it a night.
And I don't even need those seals anymore. Like I'm
You
done.
don't.
Yeah, true. There are still people out there who need Huanglong and Keelan anima, and there's a lot of them. But like this has turned into sort of a nothing event. Ugh. Okay.
I mean, if
So
you want to like get the crystals, it's like actually super fast to get it nowadays too.
true.
We just OTK it all over.
Yeah. Literally every single one of these things, I believe, dies to
Seven
just
buffs.
like not just summon bubs. Like a lot of the time, you just hit attack with a team that only triple attacks.
By the way, I found out I was grinding the wrong item.
Oh really?
I was trying to grind out water when it was up, and I'm like, and I found out, oh, I need to grind earth. That was the last one.
Oh, that was the last costume for you.
Yeah, I'm 3 off right now.
And Earth is not in the rotation right now, is it?
It is.
Oh, okay.
I was able to buy the thing.
Oh, you were able to buy it. Okay. So anyway, I just meant for the soul cores.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, okay. So anyway, like I said, I've always said this. Focus on the fun stuff. We've focused on the fun stuff for the past like hour. The unfun stuff was at the beginning. And you know what? That's not going to change how we play the game. We're going to continue playing the game as we were before. So there you go. Anyway, speaking of playing the game the way we were before, I'm going to go back to Fall Grands. How are you doing? Are you sticking with Vera for the near future just to keep figuring out what's new, or are you gonna like wander around a bit and just see what's going on?
Until Nier comes out, pretty much.
Okay, because I'll probably watch you play the fighting part while I play um the Fall Guys part a little bit. I don't think I have much more to do in the Fall Guys section, just because they
Not
only
until they
have three of
add
the
new
games.
maps. Yeah.
They're going to be new games. Like they've shown a map of Shibuya. There's something happening there. But
Yeah, you have to get the crossing without running into people.
For now, I'm mostly just testing like the connection, pretty much, and then just reminding myself how to play fighting games a bit.
God, I had one that felt like I was not playing rollback, and then it rolled back, and I'm like, yeah, that part's rollback, not the game right now.
Ugh.
It felt like the delayed base because of how slow it was moving.
Yeah, I heard you were playing like underwater again. So anyway,
That person
that's
went on Steam, by the way.
ooh. All right. That said, thank you everybody, and um, yeah, see me in Fall Guys. we're gonna we're gonna be
Now
seeing
seeing
some
Uwe
things.
Musume. That's the party
Oh,
game. My party game of choice.
well, I mean that's not around until next year, so we'll see. I'll see you there too. I mean, it's easy enough to get.
Ooh. All right, later, folks.
All right, later all. Thanks for this ended up being quite long, but at least we had fun. Everybody had fun, right?
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for joining me, DJ. And yeah, I hope to see real fun, goofy stuff when you're just putzing around with Vera, and then the new like mega meter that's available in this game.
The answer is I keep forgetting that I get meter really fast.
You have to build new habits, right? All right.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks all.
Later.
Later.